he was telling us that there's really no color barrier, and wouldn't the world be a better place if it was like that in each and every genre of our lives? And you wanted to just elaborate a little bit more of how welcoming the
Yeah, I
MMA
mean,
community.
it's been very welcoming. I mean, at the same time, but I mean, among my peers, as far as like other martial arts instructors, other business owners, just some of the people that I deal with. I mean, I deal with Melody Schumann, Michael Perella, deal with Ace Ramirez, deal with my coach right now, Dwayne Lovewick. You know, we're sitting this time right now.
Shout out.
To those guys, those are my mentors. Blas Carrasco, lots of guys that I deal with, and I mean, all those guys, I mean, are different races. You know, black, white, Asian. Just people that I deal with. They just welcome me with open arms. Just just kind of help guide me to this place I'm at right now.
So listening to you name those names, I thought I heard a woman's name in there. So I want to ask you, because I mentor girls and I work with a lot of girls and women, and I want to ask you seriously, like, how can MMA empower girls, women, young adults? How can it empower them, not just physically, but how can it empower them overall?
One thing that I know they can get from this, as far as when you talk about empowerment, is just the confidence that you get from it.
Absolutely.
I mean, not so much as being able to go out and like beat everybody up or anything like that, but just the confidence that you receive and knowing that if something was to happen physically, then you'd be able to deal with that. But then like the mental preparation, like some of the things you have to do mentally with the martial arts, and it'll prepare you in life too. Like it'll prepare you for lots of different things, lots of different aspects, things you would normally be nervous for, and like, oh man, kind of like, oh, maybe I'm not really ready for this. You'd be more prepared for it because you'd be more open and kind of makes you socially more prepared for things.
So you would say that it definitely builds up self-esteem.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
So parents, you hear that. If you have a son, a daughter that's out there that might be struggling with low self-esteem issues or bullying in school, you most definitely want to look into some mixed martial arts. You want to check it out and make sure that they are teaching the right fundamentals.
Absolutely.
And not just kicking butt.
Absolutely. Yeah, it's not about fighting. People hear MMA and they immediately think cage fighting. Is MMA, cage fighting synonymous with that. You come into my facility, like it's one of the cleaner facilities, I think, that in the whole entire state. We don't come in, not a lot of heavy metal music playing, people bleeding and getting beat up. It's not that sort of thing at all.
Absolutely. So let me ask you, okay, so we've heard all the good, the great, but have there been any challenges that you have faced in the MMA world?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. There have been many, multiple challenges. When I first started this whole thing, just, as far as being a business owner, my location was one of the things that kind of held me back. And then a little bit, I think there was, I don't really try, I tried to see it, but I think there was some race, a little bit involved. People didn't really take me serious.
Well, that does exist. I think that's the only way we can get past
it was there.
is to acknowledge.
I acknowledged it. I was like, oh man, it's there. It did exist. But like in 2013, I won this award for Business of the Year for the state of Kansas.
Awesome.
Minority owned business for the state of Kansas.
Awesome.
Thank you. And then after that, it seemed like everything started to change. People started taking me serious. Like you can tell people take you serious.
Yeah,
and they don't.
absolutely.
People really started to take me serious. Like, oh, okay, he's serious. Like, they really started seeing it. Started seeing the results that I was generating. As far as having clients and just moving on and things I was doing. It's been amazing.
So I want to ask you a very important question because everything that I do is faith-based. When I say faith, it's having a belief in myself, in God. Let me ask you, how has your faith impacted your life, your career, just you getting from where you were to where you are now?
I had to have complete and total trust and faith in God, period. Like, I believe in God. I'm not trying to offend anybody, but I believe in God.
Well, everything I do is faith-based,
and so
I appreciate that.
Just going through the challenges, like, I quit my day job to do this. Like, I had a great company day job in Fort Riley, but the way things were going, I talked to my mentor, Melody Schumann. She's one of my biggest mentors. Like, that's probably one of the number one mentors. Without her, I wouldn't be at this point right now.
Oh, you're saying you definitely have to believe in yourself and believe in God to just take that leap
Absolutely.
of faith and do what it is that you know that you are meant to be. I would say, a lot of people say, oh, what am I going to do in life? I like to tell people that your calling, you have a calling. Everybody has gifts and talents, but if you're not living and doing your true calling,
Absolutely.
You're not really living.
Absolutely.
So do you believe that you are definitely living your calling?
There's a saying. They say if you're doing what you love, you'll never work a day in your life.
Absolutely, it doesn't feel like work.
And like this is year 3 for me, and it doesn't feel like it. Like it feels like it was yesterday. Still feels fresh. So it's really just like yesterday.
So I just have a couple more questions for you. You work with a lot of kids. I see people that either love it or hate it. I personally love it. People think you work with kids to teach them something. I don't know about you, but I learn something working with kids all the time. So how did you get involved working with kids, and how do you feel about that?
So again, I'm going back to her. When I started this whole thing, I've been doing martial arts quite a while, but until probably 3 or 4 years ago, when I met Melody, oh man, I was terrible with kids because I didn't understand them. You know what I mean? I didn't understand.
Absolutely.
I didn't really understand, like, as far as she told me about like the stages of development, first physical, intellectual, emotional, social development. She taught me about that, and once I really started understanding children, then I was able to kind of teach and like really teach them and really understand. You know, okay, they're not just being bad. I mean, it's just who they are. You know,
That's
their age group,
developmentally.
as far as to develop where they are. So once I understood that, then oh man, the rest of it was a piece of cake.
So would you say what I've learned, the best part of doing with kids is if I have patience. If I'm patient with them, that's gonna get me through whatever activity or whatever it is that we're doing.
Oh, yeah,
just me
absolutely.
being patient with them.
Absolutely. You just have to be patient. I mean, it just, when you understand them and you understand why they're doing certain things, why certain behaviors are happening, then you can better help them. You know what I mean? You can better help them and better like guide them in the direction you want them to go.
Absolutely. So my last and final question, and I hate to cut it because this has been an awesome interview, but where do you see yourself in 5 years? What are your hopes, your goals, your dreams? You know.
My hopes is we're looking. I mean, we just moved to a new 6,000 square foot facility.
Awesome.
Pretty big. It's not big enough.
Wow.
It's not big enough.
Wow.
So, you know, my hope is that we're going to be, you know, at another location that, you know, probably going to look at maybe building a building, something maybe 2 stories, and yeah, I mean, we're just going to need something bigger. We need
What a
something bigger.
blessing. So are you going to hold on to your faith again to get you to that next level?
Oh, absolutely. That's the only way I'm going to make it. That's the only way I'm going to make it.
Well, Rico, it has been a pleasure. I appreciate you taking
Thank
this
you.
time.
Thank you very much.
And
Thanks, lady.
good luck to you and family. This has been Rico signing out. And please look him up. Shout outs to all the great ones that he named. Check them out if they're in your area. And remember, you are blessed to be a blessing.